Welcome back, guys. We are driving to the gym once again. And as I was pulling out of my neighborhood, I was looking at my front lawn and the front lawns of my neighbors. And I just saw that my lawn was not very well kept compared to theirs. I don't know if they have professionals mowing these lawns. Like their grass is it's a nicer species of grass. I feel like my lawn is mostly weeds, and that's because I don't really take much care of it. um and their lawns are all nicely mowed. My lawn is getting a little bit scraggly. It could be, it should be mowed soon, is how I'll say it. So what I was thinking about when I saw this was that I am not lazy. It's not that I don't, that I'm too lazy to take care of the lawn, because I was actually just outside doing some, I was building a second patio. So I was just like shoveling sand and patio base material. And that time could theoretically have been spent mowing the lawn, right? I'm doing as much, well, probably more work than what my neighbors are doing in terms of yard work right now. And yet, their yards are currently looking better. You know, it's understandable. They're doing more maintenance activities to keep their yards looking nice. And the work that I'm doing is actually in my backyard. So that being said, my thought on mowing lawns is that it's not the kind of thing that I like to do super diligently, because it's kind of this recurring, never-ending task. Like, you mow your lawn, and then a few months later, it comes back and needs to be mowed again. And understandably, like, you have to, like, I mow it before it gets crazy and there's like snakes living in it. The grass gets kind of long and there are some weeds there. And then I look at it and I'm like, all right, now it needs to be mowed, and I mow it. My neighbors do this more frequently, and they keep their yards looking perpetually pretty nice. I personally don't take a lot of pride in my front lawn. It's just the way that I was raised, where I just don't care much about it. I care more about, if I am going to be doing some kind of yard work, I prefer, and this is in general, right? I prefer for it to be a more permanent thing that I'm doing, or at least something that will last for a long time, and not just like 2 months before the yard doesn't look very good again. So, mowing lawns, like weeding, planting flowers, not my kind of thing. Like, I'm building this patio that I'm making. Well, obviously, all patios are made out of stone, but I decided to do that over even like a wooden deck because I thought it would last longer. And I just don't like, doing these impermanent tasks where you put all this effort in and then it like disappears the next season, and it's almost like you'd never done it. I understand that there are certain tasks, though, that are kind of like that are really important to do. Like, stuff indoors. It's like, yes, I will clean, like, because I'm spending most of my time indoors, and at least during the summer when it's really hot outside, you spend a lot of time indoors, and so I don't want to live in a very messy place. It's just like, even though cleaning the house it's not going to be clean forever. In fact, it's going to get dirty pretty soon. I still do that pretty consistently, because otherwise then you're just perpetually living in a gross place. So there are some maintenance activities that need to be done, they need to be done. And another prime example, I'm driving to it right now, is working out and going to the gym. Like, the work that I'm about to go do at the gym is kind of like mowing the lawn, in a sense, where if I stopped going to the gym and stopped, eating right, I could very pretty quickly lose most of the benefits that I've gained from doing this for my entire life. I mean, I wouldn't lose everything. It's not like I'd be as unhealthy as someone who'd been, not working out and eating a ton and has been obese for the past 5 to 10 years. Like, I'd be in a better position than them. Even if I became obese, over the next couple of months, I'd still be better off than them, but not by that much anymore. Not by nearly as much as I would be if I just kept working out and perpetually maintained my body. Now, the thing is, my body, once again, it's something that I care about a lot more than my lawn. Like, I care a lot more about my body and the living space that I inhabit more than I care about the outside. And, at a certain point, I probably will care more about the outside. Will I ever care about it enough to do the work myself? I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get to a point where I decide, like, I'm going to mow my lawn once a month, however often it needs. I tend to do it once every couple of months, just during the summer seasons, and then, it's not growing during fall and winter. But like, the way I think about it is I'll probably at some point hire someone to take better care of my yard and, like, weed and do that kind of stuff. Right now, it's not really worth the cost to me even. It's just, like, such a small thing that I don't really care about. I kind of feel bad for my neighbors because they seem to care about their yards, and I'm sure they'd like if my yard were... It's not like my yard is disgusting. Like, my yard is very reasonable, all things considered. It's just the lawn that gets out of hand. Like, we have nice greenery, and I make sure there are no dead trees around that could fall. But there's weeds, and it's not the prettiest. I'll put it like that. It's reasonable, but it could be better. But I do feel like these other maintenance activities, like cleaning indoors, and more importantly, I think caring for your body, those are things that I don't know if my neighbors are actually doing. Like, they seem to care more. I don't know. Because my neighbors, they're all, they're older. And so most of them don't seem like the types that are working out or doing much to keep in shape. So it almost seems like they care more about their yards than they do their bodies, or maybe they just don't realize that they could, be putting in the, an amount of work into maintaining their physical health. And it's not like everyone has to, like, pump iron all day and lift weights and get jacked, but, like, doing some cardio, probably lifting some weights would be healthy. It just seems like, and yeah, older individuals, maybe my neighbors, it's not like I actually see them mowing the lawn themselves. They very well may hire it. So, like, it might just be a time thing where they don't really care about the time, or no, where they care more about the time, sorry. And they don't really care about the cost. So they're willing to pay someone to mow their lawn, but they can't pay someone to work out for them. And so, understandably, maybe that's the case, but I'm just in a situation where I look at it and I say, my physical health is, if you don't have that, then everything else is out the window. Like, it doesn't matter what else you've got going on in your life, pretty much. If you don't have your physical health, if it gets bad enough, you're dead. So just doing my best to maintain that tends to be priority number one. If I need to put myself in harm's way to protect a family member, then that's a different story. But generally speaking, day to day, what am I actively looking to do? I'm looking to, number one, maintain my physical and mental health. That's pretty close up there. Both in terms of, I don't want my mind to deteriorate and to stop being able to think intelligent thoughts. And also, I don't want to be in a perpetually bad mood. So those, two things kind of comprise what I think of when I hear mental health. Um, and so, those, mental, physical health are the number one priority. I'd say they're equal. Yeah, I'd say they're equal. But after that comes family. I mean, that could really come first. That could come first. I'm just thinking on a basis of like, what do I day to day think about and try to take care of the most. Family just, it personally, I think requires less maintenance in terms of time than physical and mental health, because I mean, you can talk to family members, if you don't live near them, then you can talk to them like once every couple of days and still maintain a great relationship with them, even if it's just like a 15-30 minute chat, or less even. And, it's still great when you get to see them and you're all together and you can still maintain great relationships with them. But your physical health, you really need to be putting in more than 15 to 30 minutes every couple of days. Like ideally, I feel ideally an hour a day of dedicated time that you're thinking about, doing some kind of exercise, just because unless, your job is really physical, unless you find yourself just naturally doing really intense physical things, but most people don't. Most people are sitting all day, and that goes for me as well. I mostly sit during the day. That won't be the case for very long. I just bought a standing desk for $150, and so that will be nice. I'm looking forward to standing more, and maybe I'll get a little, like a little treadmill that goes under it. I've seen some people do that. That's, more expensive. That's like maybe $200. I don't know if that's worth it. But just standing, I think, will be a lot nicer than sitting for hours a day. And, it'll keep me feeling more active. And if I don't like it, then I can return it. But I think I'll enjoy it. So other than that, guys, I think that was it. I just parked, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.